All right, everybody, have a bird take a dump on my face, take a picture of the bird taking a dump on my face, have Dreamcast guy film the bird taking a dump on my face.
Oh no! Oh no!
While Spawnwave Media is shirtless and with the six-pack abs on the beach, also taking photos. Hello, and I am here with. What do you want to call yourself now? I don't know if do you even want to call yourself JKB anymore?
No, I just call me the editor.
You're just
That's
the
what
editor.
I am.
Yes. Okay. You're
Just
the editor. Because I
editors.
saw you. The only reason I brought that up because you changed the title, which was fine. I don't care. But I was like featuring JK, featuring the editor. I'm like, okay, that's fine if that's what he wants to be
I'm
called.
the editor. I'm your editor now. What do you want from me?
Jay, the editor.
Hold my cheeks together and kiss my face.
I will hold your. I'll hold your cheeks together. You could put a penny in between them. It'll flatten it. I couldn't think of anything. Birds. Today, I am with the editor, and we are talking about. I guess on my side, they're tech retail horror stories. I think you kind of have a mixture of horror stories on your side, which Jay won't tell me about because he wants me to react to them naturally. I worked in retail for a long, on and off. I worked regular jobs in retail back and forth before I did YouTube, and I have a hell of a lot of stories. We're going to keep them tech related. If I went outside of tech, they would get even crazier. Maybe we'll save that episode for another day, but
I'm going outside of tech. Sorry, one of my stories is outside tech. Sorry.
that's
Deal
fine.
with it.
Mine are not outside tech, which is who is I'm getting you there, Jay?
Yeah, I'm there. Will you want to touch me?
No, hold on one second.
What happened?
No, nothing. Hold on. I got to pick up a FaceTime.
Oh wait, we're getting interrupted.
No, we're not. All right. Anyway,
No?
I
Touch
stopped
me?
it. Yeah, I stopped it. All right. Listen, edit me naked. So like I said to you, I worked in retail for like on and off for 14 years. I don't know how long.
Jesus.
Yeah, from high school, and then like I said, I got out of it for a while, and then I got laid off, and whatever job was thrown at me, I took. So I have stories, man. I got stories. I don't know how long you were in. I know you were at EB Games for a while.
Yeah, I was 2 years almost.
Oh wow, I thought you were longer than that. I thought you worked there for
No,
longer.
it was 2 years there, but then also I did Blockbuster. Blockbuster started this bullshit called Game Rush, which didn't even take off, and then they shut it down. They spent like $3 million in Canada to get it going, and then they were like, we're not going to do it. And I'm like, okay, well, thanks for the money.
Yo, that was like HP. They spent like billions of dollars. I don't know the exact price, but it was billion at least, buying a Palm. They made us take all these. I guess this is another story that I'm accidentally throwing in. They made us take these ridiculous training courses on this tablet they were making with Palm OS or whatever their OS was called. And literally a month after they released that tablet, just discontinued everything. And they're like, yo, we're selling everything at like a huge discount. Do you want a tablet that'll never be supported again and is a piece of shit? I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, it was just like, what happened? We were training for this stupid tablet for months, and you spent like a nation's worth of money to buy Palm, and you're doing nothing with it.
That's weird. Yeah, but companies do a lot of that. You have no idea. I mean, let's just get into the stuff because we could talk about that another day.
Yeah.
I've been in Ubisoft's. Listen to this really quickly, guys. I've been in Ubisoft's office, and the amount of money that they spend on just food in the cafeteria is more than you would ever imagine. Like, and then it all goes in the garbage. But that's a whole other story. But let's touch tips.
Yes, let's touch. So you could start the first story, and then I'll start my first one.
So here, Rich. This is for Rich, and we're just recording it. I'm just doing it live. Ready? I knew a guy named Brad. Brad and I grew up together in Mississauga, Ontario at Square One Mall. We worked at Sunrise Records together. Now, this is the sad part, and there's a reason I'm telling you this, because I never thought I would tell these stories live to anybody realistically, but Brad sadly passed away many years ago from cancer. And these stories I'm telling are straight out of the nonsense that Rich and I have developed over the course of our little relationship working together over the last couple of years. When Rich and I started doing the work together, exactly, when we started doing the work together, we knew that we had to be nuts. And that's why there's birds and close-ups and crazy stuff on the show. That's all of us. That's just him and I just riffing off each other. He'll do something and then I'll say, okay, whatever. The reason I'm bringing all of this up was because that's the same relationship I had with Brad. And we worked at somewhere called Sunrise Records in Square One Mall. This mall was considered the biggest mall in all of Ontario. That is including Toronto. So if you've ever been to Toronto, you get the scope.
So it's enormous then.
It's I think it's the second biggest mall other than the one in someplace else. But anyways, it's gigantic, man. It's like probably 60, 70 football fields. Massive. So there's some stories I'm going to tell here. And I can't even say allegedly because they actually took place. And I'll also say this. I was much younger, much more ballsy, just off the wall. Some of this stuff that I'm going to say could probably get me canceled. So let me start with some of the smaller stories that I can actually say. Then we can get a Rich story. Then I'll get back to some of the shenanigans we got up to at the mall because they did lead into me working at EB Games / GameStop. So there was a time, I'm just going to tell this story. There's a time where we used to play Magic the Gathering until 6 in the morning. And Jeez. For whatever reason, we try to make each other puke by hitting each other in the balls really hard. I don't know. I don't even know I'm telling the story. It's in honor of Brad. I had to segue into it. So it's about 4 in the morning and we're outside of the mall and we've got keys and all this stuff. And Brad's going in to get his Magic cards. He gets back in the truck and my friend Mike literally sacks him in the balls. He throws up all over the front of the van and the doorway. And the next day, the manager came in and had to clean up the puke. And we were like, must have been somebody from the bar. Must have been just somebody from the bar. So yeah, it was ridiculous. So one day I come into the store and we're still playing that game. We're still, let me also say this. I'm sure a lot of the guys watching this did stupid things with your friends like this. I'm sure you did this with your friends, right? You did silly shit like this, right?
Oh, of course.
I mean, we're getting into like really open territory. I'm being completely open here. So one day I go in the back of the store and like I used to just try to make Brad laugh. That's all my job was. And this is I'm almost done the story here, but I used to make him laugh by doing the stupidest things. And just before a customer would come into the store, I'd say, and I quote, I would say, "Do you want me to burn this one?" And that would literally mean do something so offensive that the customer would complain or leave the store. So he's like, I dare you to get a hard on and balance a CD on it through your shorts. So I'm like, are you sure? I'll do it. I don't give a shit. I'm also the same guy that poured like an ice cappuccino down my pants in the store. I didn't give a shit. So I was like, I'll do it, but like both of us are going to get in a lot of trouble for this. He's like, I don't give a shit. I'm like, I don't give a shit. So I'm like, fine. So I went to the back of the store and balanced the CD on my erection, not obviously out, but just on it, and just stood there waiting for a customer to come in. And he was laughing so hard, I'll never forget it, rolling on the floor laughing. And a old lady came around the corner. And I thought to myself, like, this is the moment where you become a man. Either you bail on this thing or you just stand there and do nothing and just talk to her with the CD balanced on your dick. And lo and behold, I somehow managed to not move. And she came in the back of the store and just started talking to me and did not even notice the CD on my erection.
How the did you keep an erection while talking to an old lady as a joke? What did you fucking take a Cialis before?
No, I'm half Italian. I don't know. I thought about Brad's cheeks smushed together. Who knows? You know what it was? It was the motivation of that joke that I knew that it would live on to be.
It made your penis.
Something.
I don't even think I could do that at like 17. Here, get a boner on command and balance a CD on it.
So then after that, it became like a mandatory thing that everybody had to do when they got into work, like including the manager. We made the manager do it too.
What?
And that was that. Yeah, that was just how we worked there.
Yeah, I'm. This story may have been told. I know it's been told during live streams. I don't know if it was told in an actual video, but I used to work at Fire Dog. That was like Circuit City's competitor to Geek Squad. I almost forgot what the hell they were called. And
Fire Dog.
Fire Dog was their name. Yeah, real fucking catchy. Anyway, so first off, even with I used to steal a lot of work from those computers too, which was very entertaining. Customers would come and be like, "Yo, I could do the same work for you out of my house for half the price," and they didn't catch on to that. Yeah, I know this is terrible. So, talk about canceling.
Hey, wait a
each other.
minute. Allegedly, this happened.
Allegedly, yes. Allegedly.
Jesus
I would,
because listen, I gotta add this in. Allegedly, we did some scams at this record store too, which allegedly. But anyways, carry on.
So anyway, allegedly, I would take people and be like, I used to take them in like a corner where like they sold PC games, because that's when they were still sold on actual discs. I'd be like, yo, don't even pay these. It'll take you 3 weeks to get the computer back, which was true. I'll do the same work for you in 4 days, half the price. Dude, I made a killing doing that. But this is before, when I was actually like pretending to not be a piece of crap and actually do my job. This guy came in. It was like this big biker dude. He came in and he had a laptop, and this is right when Windows Vista came out. Yes, this is how long ago it is. And so he takes out the computer. Now, Vista, when you first got it I think it was on the right-hand side by default anyway. It would have like the pictures that you had on there, and it would scroll through them. So the guy's he's confused about, yes, that's what he's confused about. No, he's confused about Vista, how to use it. He's asking me questions, and you have the pictures scrolling, and it's just normal pictures, like the stock ones they have of like a sunset and a horse or whatever. And then all of a sudden, it's the guy just, I don't know, he's asking me questions, butt ass naked, like with his ass cheeks spread, showing his hole, his balls are out, everything is out, multiple angles, multiple pictures, and he's not reacting, and he's still asking questions. And I'm just like, what do I do right now? Like, this is, I don't know if he was embarrassed and wanted to pretend that he didn't have them there, or he just didn't care. Maybe that was his thing. But I'm just like, I am seeing every hole this man has, and he's just asking me how to like save files on a computer. And there was another story with that too. There was a priest that would come in, and every time there was priest that would come in with a computer, and he was known for being strange. And every time he came in with a computer, the keys were always stuck. Now, we never found anything on his computer, but you would deal with a lot of sticky keys, and it was like, how do you keep doing this? How do you keep doing? What do you think he was doing? Dude, on computers that I took the work from them, like I did it for half price. There was this one dude. I remember. I think he was like a nurse, nicest guy on the planet. Yo, I would say 90% of his hard drive, nothing was porn. I didn't look through it, but it was porn. So yeah, man, it's amazing the crap that you would find on people's computers, and that's my story. I saw a biker man's asshole while working at Circuit City. Listen, I'm gonna pretend I'm Elon Musk. I'm gonna whip out my dick and buy you a horse. No,
okay.
We do that shit happen all the time. I worked at Circuit City. I don't know if we're going into random stories too, but they're still good. And Circuit City Express. This is how far we're going back. And the PS2 was launching, and dude, it was, I don't know if I should say allegedly. There was a line out the door. I didn't steal anything, by the way. There was a line out the door, like from inside the mall. And in the Circuit City Express was kind of in the middle of the mall, and the Poughkeepsie Galleria Mall isn't small, so that's a fairly long line of people hoping to get a PS2. And you were not, it was like company policy. You were not supposed to buy one yourself. But my boss is like, yo, who wants one? I'll just say they're gone. We sold out. and he just saved me one back there, and I just got it. So yeah, I was that
Oh,
guy.
dude.
Like I heard
we did that
stories
too.
now about the PS5 where people did that and being pissed off. So I was that guy back in the PS2 days. I would be the reason if I was 18 you wouldn't have gotten a PS5. You're welcome.
Well, we did that too, man. At our store, you think we're going to give a copy or a system like the DS came out? You think listen, when this is the reason why we did this, and this is a bit off topic, but when corporate tells you you need to sell a certain amount of things and have no knowledge of what the item is, then of course you're going to want to buy it day one. And when they say, oh, you guys have to wait, then how the hell am I supposed to sell it? Like, it makes no sense. So we would always do that. Well, dude, I got one last story to tell quickly here. I worked at Blockbuster for like 5 or 6 years, part of the game division, but also the main till, just renting movies and stuff. Do you know how many times male 30-year-old men would come in with their wives and be like, yeah, we returned a tape? And I would just instantly go, yes, I have the tape, 1 second. And I would give it to them. And you know what it was every single time? Homemade pornography. And it was like, that happened at least twice a week at every location. Somebody would come in and be like, I accidentally did something silly. And you would just go, what's your name? Yeah, it was in this case. Here you go. Because everything's obviously, you scan a movie in, it tracks who rented that out. So
how the hell do you screw up? Oh yeah, here. All right, bring the movie back. This is a picture of me. This is a VHS tape of me butt fucking you.
I have no idea. I do remember one guy was just like, yeah, he's like, I just grabbed it out of the VCR and there was a mix up. And I'm like, well, how does that even happen? He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, here it is, man. Like, it's just one of those moments, it's like when you're in retail, the moments just happen and you have to deal with them in real time. You can't just stop and make a joke about it because they're standing in front of you, right? So that happened twice a week at Blockbuster. And then also, just to close out this story, people would piss in the return box every night. That was awesome.
Man, your stories are better than mine. I thought I had crazy ones. That's disgusting.
Oh, God. Dude, here's another story. I mean, I'm having fun talking about this. One time I leave the store at 10 o'clock at night. As I'm leaving the store, I swear this is a true story, I see a car pull up to the front of the Blockbuster. And this is a Blockbuster that's not in a mall. It's like in a big strip mall. And I see this guy go in. And I swear to God, I had this weird vibe. I just thought, why is that guy parked on the opposite side of where he's supposed to be and running into the store? So I just went home. I didn't think like, oh, anything serious was going to happen. Lo and behold, I go in the next morning. I'm opening. So I'm there around like 10:30 because we opened, I think, at 11. And I'm there at 10:30, police everywhere. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm walking up to the store. I'm like, what the hell? I got my uniform on, everything. I get to the front door. I unlock it. I go in. Police are there in the back room, and they're fingerprinting. I'm like, what is going on? And they don't even know I'm in there yet. They're like, hey, you work here, opening, blah, blah, blah. Yep. So what happened was, when I left the store at 11 at night, that guy that I saw park oddly went into the store with a gun and demanded them to open the safe. So essentially he was waiting for the staff member to leave, which was me, so he could rob the place. So here's how stupid this guy is. He robs the place at gunpoint with an actual real gun. It was confirmed to be real because they found the gun afterwards. They found out where he lived. Guess where he lived, man? He lived behind the store. Literally behind the store. So they found out that this guy was at home. His girlfriend, it was like Valentine's Day or something weird, and his girlfriend was like, I want flowers. This is real. I want flowers. So he decided to not get a job, not borrow money. He just got in his car and went around the block, like 2 seconds, came into my store, robbed them at gunpoint, demanded the money, and he was actually pretty brutal about it from the stories from the managers. And then he took the actual till. He took the whole till. Like
the whole drawer. Yeah.
He took the whole drawer. So he went back around his house and dumped the drawer in the alleyway and hid the gun in a bush. And this is the best part. And then he jumped the fence and parked his car somewhere else. It's all on video. So they just literally looked at the video and went, I guess he lives there. They knocked on the door and they're like, "Hi, you robbed Blockbuster? You're under arrest." And the guy's like, "Yep." He just said, "Yep." Like, yeah, it was him.
What?
How?
She must give him his girlfriend must give him blazing blowjobs, and it must have been worth it.
It must have been. She must hold his ass together and go for it, because that's just. I don't know what else to say.
And it's like, it's stupid to rob for that too. It's stupid to rob in general, but I'm saying it's stupid to rob for that to begin with. But you rob a place that you live right behind. So, the last story I have is so another job that I got allegedly from taking business from Circuit City and making them pay half price for it. I used to go to people's houses too, and there was this one house that I went to. It was this two really old, super, super, super heavy set, like husband and wife. And they were like hoarders, man. Like you had to go up to I was almost like, nah, I'm good, I'm leaving. But you had to like go up the stairway. There was like a path, like almost like Chris Chan levels for people who know that whole saga. So whatever, the house smells terrible. It's packed to the brim with a bunch of crap. And looking at their computer, it's running slow like every other friggin' Windows XP computer I worked on. And all of a sudden, both of their stomachs, like one would gurgle, then the other one would gurgle. And then it happened quicker. And then it happened quicker. And then they just were talking to me like none of this was going on. And they just started farting while asking me questions. And I'm like, I'm trying to keep a straight face. And I'm also freaked out because I'm in this house of horrors and these two large old people's stomachs are growling and farting around me while I'm trying to figure out if they have a virus on their PC. So, I mean, we got more stories. I got stories for days. I'm sure if I dig through the cobwebs of my brain, I could find even more crazy stuff, probably even crazier than what I told you, but there's just so many that they mesh together. So I'm sure Jay could think of some more too. All right, guys, we'll be back next week for another episode of Rich Tomorrow. I almost forgot to call it that. And I'll see you with more content real soon. Have a good one.